officially live. What's going on? I wonder if anybody's going to be tuning in for this one because it is midnight and I was just in the mood to go ahead and do a random live stream. And I think this is probably the latest I've ever done it. I've started it earlier and it's gone this time. What's going on, DJ Donnelly? How are you? I know a lot of the viewers that usually do that participate in this live stream are from other countries. Yeah, so again, especially over in the UK, I know it's super late there. So, all right, 5 viewers already. That's cool. Cheers to you guys. How's everybody doing? Yeah, 5 a.m. over there. Where are you from, AK Films? I can't remember if you're in Ireland or not. Hey, Pinoy Ride, what's going on? There are some people awake right now, too. Yeah, I'm just... I'm having a beverage, gonna pop in a movie. Yeah, you are Ireland. See, I was right. I remembered. So that's pretty awesome. UK for you too. It's got to be late over there. I actually just I can't remember who it was. There's somebody else on here that was from I want to say they're from Scotland actually. That's always pops in on here too. What's going on, Johnny Moynihan? How are you? So there are a few people awake. That's awesome. Yeah, just kind of a spur of the moment. I don't ever plan these live streams out. I know I should because people always ask me when am I going to do them next. And it's really whenever I'm in the mood. Let's see. Nerathal Seth says, hey dude, what's up at 7 a.m. reporting from Cyprus. Holy moly. I do know of Cyprus. AK Film says I'm like a vampire, sleep by day. Yeah, that's, I used to be like that, but it's not good for your system overall, is what they say. But Scotland, DJ Donnelly, Scotland, so that's awesome. So yeah, a lot of my my UK, Scotland, Ireland people are up over here. Cyprus in the house. That's freaking awesome. Cheers to you guys, right there. But yeah, what is everybody? Are you guys? I assume you guys are just getting ready to go to bed right now. But if there's anybody that's actually going to be up for a little bit, let me know what you're doing because I'm getting ready to pop in a movie. I just finished a movie which was surprisingly good. Let me go ahead and show you what I am going to be watching. And let me see here. Bam! American Made with Tom Cruise. This is the 4K Blu-ray digital copy combo pack. I haven't seen this one. I am a fan of Tom Cruise. I know a lot of people hate on him. I think mostly because of his Scientology beliefs and I guess the time that he jumped on the couch, but that was like forever ago. But I think he's a great actor. He's been in a ton of films that I personally love. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I don't know too much about it. It's supposed to be, based on a true story, which they say about a ton of different stuff. I'm trying to see who directed this one. Doug Liman. But yeah, it's basically, I think he's like a pilot and becomes like a drug courier kind of and makes a ton of money. I think that's the gist of it from what I know. But again, Tom Cruise, I'll give it a shot. But that's what I'm going to pop in. Hopefully I will finish it. I don't know if I will or not, but we'll see. I finished this movie up tonight, Osiris Child, and initially I hated the title because it's the Osiris Child Science Fiction Volume 1. It's an Australian sci-fi movie, and I freaking loved it way better than I was expecting. Better than a lot of the mainstream sci-fi, Hollywood movies that are out there now. It did have some issues, especially some editing issues. And I kind of wish it didn't. Like, obviously, it's part 1, so they're setting it up, or volume 1, they're setting it up for a second one. I kind of wanted a little bit more from that ending. But I really enjoyed the heck out of this one. I wish there was a little bit of there's one part where there's kind of like a jumps forward. I kind of wish they would have added an extra scene in there. I don't like the way that they do the chapters. There's too many chapters. It seems a little choppy. But overall, I know I'm kind of like complaining about it, but overall, I really enjoyed the heck out of the Osiris Child Science Fiction Volume 1. I still don't like that title, but I hope they do more with that. It's an Australian one. And I ended up getting the new Terminator, the US release right there. Terminator 2 Judgment Day 4K release. I know they have that really cool, like, exoskeleton arm. I've got the endoskull sets above over there too from the previous ones, but I'm very happy on that. And I ended up getting from Code Red, Cut and Run, which I absolutely love this one from Rogerio Deodato. I think this one is super underrated. One of my favorites from him, in fact. Nice slip cover. I got this from Ronin Flicks is the website. And I did watch friend request recently as well, which I thought this was actually decent. I thought it was going to be a lot like Unfriended, and Unfriended was hot garbage. This was way better than Unfriended. Again, this could have been better than it was, but it was still really enjoyable. One of the better ones like this. The Den is another one that is kind of similar, where it uses technology and, you know, kind of like social media and stuff like that. The Den is one that I think is really underrated. It doesn't have a Blu-ray release here in the U.S. at least, but I love the heck out of The Den. And Friend Request, I think, was decent. That's, I think, worth checking out, at least for horror fans. Cut and Run, I would highly recommend. And Osiris Child, I'd recommend. But hold on, let me scroll through the comments. I know I missed a bunch. Hold on. Ayo, drinking whiskey with my pops. That's awesome, Nicholas R. I'm having a Krabby's ginger beer because I love ginger beer. I think this is this, yeah, I believe this is Irish. I could be mistaken. I'm not sure where this is from. I can't remember where Krabby's is from. I don't know if it's Ireland or Scotland, or I think maybe it's Scotland. Maybe it's Scotland. Edinburgh. There we go. Right there. Krabby's. But I love the heck out of ginger beers. Hold on. All right, you have insomnia. I'm sorry to hear that. I just finished watching The Void. Oh, heck yeah, I love The Void. One of my favorite movies of the year. I believe it was a 2017 movie. Definitely, I think it is my favorite horror movie of the year. Seen you live, had a pop in. That's awesome. Thank you, Nicholas R. I know you always come in here. I think that's really cool. It's cool to see a lot of like familiar people on here, so that's awesome. And new people too. I might be up for another 30 minutes. I might go on my phone. Oh, that's cool. Just watched Jack Reacher completely. Oh, the full run of the Jack Reacher ones. What did you think of them? What did you think of the last one as well? I've been watching Gotham on Netflix. I've seen a few episodes of Gotham here and there. I enjoy it. Have you seen The Last Jedi? I haven't seen The Last Jedi yet. I was just talking about that with somebody, in fact. Hey Jay, you other guys and girls, happy 20th of 6 o'clock in the morning in Denmark over there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, all over. That's one of the things that I love about YouTube. You can talk to people all over the world. I think it's amazing. Mary Norris, how are you? DVD Jam, did you get any of the Christopher Nolan movies in 4K that was released today? Yeah, I got Dunkirk. Trying to remember, I didn't get the Dark Knight ones. I did pick up, I do want to get, Prestige is the next one I really want to get the most. So Prestige is the next big one that I plan on getting. I did get, Interstellar too. So Interstellar and, Dunkirk, which I did enjoy Dunkirk. I just wanted a little bit more from it. I felt like it was missing that kind of like emotional impact. Great cinematography though, and still a good war film. But I just wanted a little bit more of the connection with the characters. It just felt like it was kind of glossed over, and I liked some of the things where they did with the timeline though for it, which was cool. But I do want to pick up Prestige is the next one I really want to get, but I do want to get the whole complete thing. I know the box set was like ridiculous, but I mean obviously I think it's worth it though. But friend request has been. Are you sure about friend request? Maybe are you sure you're not thinking of Unfriended? I don't know. I have to look into that to know for sure, but it's not out yet officially. Friend request here. Did you end up picking up any of the 4K Nolan titles? I know I saw somebody on here did a I guess their review of the 4K transfer of the Dark Knight trilogy. Out of the bunch, The Den is the super. Obviously, I totally agree. The Den is fantastic. I saw the last broadcast and I hated it. A lot of people love it. I also don't like the Blair Witch. I think if you like the Blair Witch, you'll like the last broadcast. But for me, it's very similar. And I'm in New Jersey, and I have yet to see a good one dealing with like the Pine Barrens and the Jersey Devil and all that kind of stuff. So. But yeah, the Den is a super underrated movie in my opinion. I wish it had a Blu-ray release here. I have the DVD of it, and I need to, I guess, talk about that movie. I need to do like a top 10 most underrated horror movies list. That might be on my my list for me. I think that one's one that definitely deserves more attention. I'm trying to find it. I'm going to alphabetize everything very soon, so I'm going to do a whole video on that because I know it's over here somewhere. You guys will probably find it before I do. The Den. Where is The Den? Do you guys see it yet? Because I don't see it yet. It could be down here in this bottom shelf, slightly obstructed by view of the other box sets down there. Am I missing? I'm pretty sure it has a clear place. Ah, here it is, right here. The Den, right there. Super awesome film. Super underrated. Love the heck out of that one. The Taking of Deborah Logan is another one that I think is really underrated. There's a ton of films that I think deserve way more love and attention. You know, it's funny. I did a video a while back, and I was asking people what they thought like an underrated slasher movie was, and a lot of them were saying ones that I thought were like some of the most popular slasher movies of all time. Maniac, the original Maniac, Sleepaway Camp. I'm like, these are like two of the most popular horror movies of all time, in my opinion. So I think it's surprising to hear different people's opinion or thoughts of what is underrated. But I couldn't, in any realm or sense, consider Sleepaway Camp or Maniac, the original Maniac, to be underrated. I think they're two of the most popular, well-known horror movies in history. So, just scrolling through. Yeah, I didn't enjoy the last broadcast. I think if you like the original, the Blair Witch Project, you'll enjoy it. But for me, it's this found footage, nothing really worth checking out. Friend, see, are you guys sure you're thinking about this friend request? Where it's about the one girl who is obsessed with the other girl, and she follows her around her college campus, and there's like a witch aspect. Because I think you guys might be thinking of Unfriended, which, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this was released prior in other countries. I didn't think it was necessarily a teen one. I thought Unfriended was more of a teen one. Although this one definitely had some darker elements and some creepy imagery, especially the two kids who were like burned up and disfigured looking. What's up, Noah Kazler? What's going on? Steven Costera, how are you? Haven't seen the second one. Had mixed reviews for it. Blue Fandom, since it's the midnight show us your boxers like old time. I'm actually wearing pants right now for all of those of you guys. It's freezing here in Jersey, so I gotta stay warm. I do have some flannel boxers, but I'm not rocking those right now. But yeah, for all of you guys who might not be around or haven't been around for back in the day, I used to, in like all my videos, I used to be like in my boxers, and for a while I had a lot of people requesting that, which, you know, whatever. But yeah, I used to do a lot of videos where I would be in my boxers humping stacks of Blu-rays and movies, and people seem to get a kick out of that, and I don't do that anymore. Maybe I'm just tired now and just don't have that same level of energy and excitement. I do occasionally, but yeah, right now it's midnight. I'm a little too tired to do anything crazy like that. But I think that's super cool that you remember that, though. I appreciate that. I didn't know that, JJ Christensen. That's interesting. That's so funny, Blue Phantom, that you remember that, the Kathleen Turner thing. I didn't even end up going. I think I still have a few more days to go. So thank you I was thinking about that recently. I still want to go and check that out because it got freezing cold. It got busy, holidays and stuff like that. I think she didn't have a good timeline for her show. Kathleen Turner is in a play in the city next to me. And it's not even the big theater. It's like the smaller theater next to it. Like there's like a whole theater district. There's kind of like descending levels of how big and popular those theaters are. She's in like the second tier level. But yeah, she was like, it was like at the end of November to like the end of December that she was in. So it's like freezing temperatures, holidays. So I think it's going to be difficult for her to do as well on those shows, even though she has a big name draw. But I still do want to end up checking her the play out and seeing if she'll sign those Blu-rays for me. Can you buy DVDs with Bitcoins? I have no idea, Manny. It's funny because I was watching a documentary on Bitcoin the other day. I know people who are big into Bitcoin, but to me it's like play money. It's imaginary money, but it is it's crazy. I think the very first Bitcoin went for like 7 cents or something, and now if you had kept it, and it was like, I don't know, like 2008, but if you would have kept it, it goes for like $15,000 now. So that's pretty insane. But I feel like there's got to be a crash in that market. It's hard for me to imagine it's going to keep going up and up and up with no repercussions there. Well, friend request has been out in the UK and Ireland. I think some European countries came out in 2016, but I think in the USA it says IMDb that it came out September 2017. That could be very possible. I haven't looked into it before. I just keep thinking like friend request, when I first heard about it, I was thinking it was Unfriended, but it's two different movies. So maybe you're right though. There's been other movies like 47 Meters Down. It was released on DVD, then immediately pulled, and then it was in the Deep, I think was the original name, and they put it into the theaters like a year later under 47 Meters Down. So crazy things happen with movies like that. A lot of weird New Jersey stories out there. I'm shocked not many horror movies have came out about them. Yeah, they keep trying to do the Pine Barrens, Jersey Devil kind of stuff, but there's a lot. Yeah, Weird New Jersey was like such a popular publication for a long time. There's like, was it the Devil's Tree, I think was one. There's a whole bunch of weird, creepy stuff that they could do a whole like anthology on movie-wise. That should be something that the people, creators of Weird New Jersey should do a movie anthology thing about that. What's going on, Molly Bowers? How are you? I heard a story about the last broadcast, which was released before. Yeah, it was released before the Blair Witch Project. It's interesting. I didn't know. You hear stuff about that all the time about people seeing movies and being influenced. The same thing with Blair Witch Project saying, they didn't see Cannibal Holocaust. It's kind of hard to imagine, big horror people not seeing a movie like that, not knowing of it at least. Again, they were kind of, I guess Cannibal Holocaust was kind of really one of the first, if not the first, one that kind of utilized found footage aspects. In fact, they thought that it was a real film, and the director was jailed until they found the actors back in the day. I have not seen The Last Jedi yet. I'm going to get that a lot. I haven't seen it yet. I will see it soon. John Hickey, how are you? An overlooked zombie movie to me is La Horde. Absolutely. Great French zombie movie. Yeah, I love that movie. My only gripe with that movie is the ending. I was a little annoyed by the actions of that one character, but I still love the heck out of the horror. That was one of those movies where I felt like it had so much buzz when it came out, and then like since then, I don't think I really have heard anybody talk about it. Maybe like one or two people in like years. So I have the Canadian Blu-ray of it. I love the heck out of the Horde, and I would definitely recommend it. I might have talked to you about it recently. Somebody left me a comment about it. Any plans on releasing a top 10 horror movie watches for 2017? Yes. I'm trying to find, I want your guys' recommendations for other movies for me to check out for top movies of 2017, because I've seen a lot of movies, but not enough movies for me to compile a 2017 best of list. Like a lot of people, the last live stream I did, they were giving me ones they thought were the best. Those ones wouldn't, no comic book movies are probably going to be on mine. Wonder Woman isn't going to be on mine. I loved Wind River, but I couldn't put it on a top 10 list, I don't think. I love the heck out of Wind River up until the last 20 minutes where, it has all the whole movie, it's all this tension, all this mystery, atmosphere, build-up, suspense, and then they just give it away to you, just spoon-feed it to you. I just felt like that was a huge disappointment for that movie. I still love it, but I just couldn't put it on the top 10 list because of that reason. And Wonder Woman for me wouldn't be on it. A lot of these popular movies that, like Baby Driver, I think it was very stylistic, but the dialogue was absurd and ridiculous, and I don't like the way that movie ended either. But again, I thought it was an enjoyable movie, a good kind of like popcorn action entertainment movie, but it's overly stylized, and the dialogue was ridiculous for me. So I'm a picky dude. So right now my list for my top 10 probably has 5 movies on it. So I loved Get Out. I thought that one actually lived up to the hype. Big Sick. I like Hero. That was kind of like a one that I think flew under the radar. I haven't seen Brigsby Bear or whatever, something similar to that, but I've heard good things about that. I haven't seen Good Times yet either. Heard good things about that. I would put The Void on there and The Devil's Candy for sure. Those are 2 horror movies that I enjoyed this year. But I also usually wait until January to really compile a list like that, because that's when all the international films and independent films get released over here. So the majority of my top 10 lists are usually international or independent movies. A lot of the mainstream ones, just they're fluff for me. So I'm a picky dude, but give me recommendations for movies to check out outside of the really huge mainstream popular movies, ones that you consider underrated that deserve to be on a top list. Let me scroll through. Flicks and movies, Alex Leva, what's going on? But yeah, I do plan to make a top list. And I'm actually going to do a top one for 2016 because I never ended up posting it. And I feel like all the top 2016 movie lists that I saw, I think there'd probably only be one Nocturnal Animals that would be on my list. That was the one that was popular, that was on everybody's list. but the majority of the lists I saw just don't align with my one. So, yeah, no, the Unfriended one. So they are different movies. Okay. Do you have any film? I only have 188 films released, and that's The Boogeyman. A lot of the ones that they've released have already been released here in the U.S., but there are some ones I do want to pick up, and then there's other ones that they have that are region B locked. Ultimate Gaming Last Jedi was really good. I saw it on Saturday. I heard a lot of mixed reviews for The Last Jedi, and some people were posting spoilers on some of my videos. I'm like, come on. AK Film says this Saturday the 23rd he's going to get his beard shaved off for bowel cancer. That's pretty awesome. He saved up, I guess it was like a fundraiser thing for it. It'll be weird for my girlfriend if she hasn't seen me without my beard. Well, hopefully she won't be too weirded out by it. But I think that's a really cool idea. I might do something like that in the future. My beard is pretty thick. I never grew a beard ever until this year, or any facial hair really until this year. How did you like it, Molly Bowers, The Last Jedi? I think it's a really cool cause that you're doing it for as well. You're going to grow it back immediately. That's awesome. I have seen Mother, Ryan Richardson. I saw Mother. Actually, I did a vlog with Andrea, and I just haven't posted. I haven't edited it yet. We did kind of like a bunch of different stuff, and we watched it together. And we kind of filmed our thoughts about it afterwards. I personally was not a fan of it. I like the cinematography aspect. I just thought everything was a little too overt with the symbolism, especially the religious aspects. It's probably my least favorite Aronofsky film now. If you guys are a Darren Aronofsky fan, let me know what your favorite is. Requiem for a Dream is my favorite by far, then Black Swan. Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of ones. I'd say it's one of the more popular, hyped up, talked about movies of the year, Mother. Again, I love Jennifer Lawrence. I love Javier Bardem, Ed Harris, Michelle Pfeiffer, Stephen McHattie, Kristen Wiig. A lot of the cast, they did a great job acting-wise. I like the cinematography, but to me, it felt just too overt, too over the top, a little art housey. I just didn't like it at all. Very disappointed in the execution of the film. I like the idea of it, but not the execution. It's something I would never want to watch again. I think it's going to be a divisive film, very polarizing, a love it or hate it movie. So yeah, for me, I pretty much hated it outside of Jennifer Lawrence. Like, I have it actually. It was I got a review copy for it, and I will be posting a review of it. But there you go. That's essentially my thoughts on it. Alex Laber, you're not going to make a top 10 list. I've seen a bunch of films. I just haven't seen that many for me that I would consider worthy to make a top 10 list of. Again, like I said, a lot of people's favorites, Wonder Woman, wouldn't be on my list at all. Wind River, I liked up until the ending. Wouldn't be on my list because of that. Baby Driver, I thought it was very stylistic, but I couldn't put it on the list because I thought the dialogue was too absurd, ridiculous, and I didn't care for the ending. Those are movies that, while I enjoyed certain aspects from them, I couldn't put on a top 10 list. I just don't think they're worthy enough to be on there for me personally. My list will be different than your list. It's all subjective, but for me, my number one movie of the year is probably The Void. It's gonna be. I'm a big horror fan, so it's gonna be horror centric. The Void, Devil's Candy, Get Out would be on my list. I think that one actually lived up to the hype. I know a lot of people don't like that one. It's divisive, but for me, it's worth it. I also like The Big Sick and Hero, which I thought was really underrated, kind of flew under the radar. A Ghost Story, which is another one that people loved, I thought was utter trite, art housey, just boring, like a 10-minute period of her eating a pie. I like the idea of the progression of time, but again, the execution didn't work for me at all. And I thought it was almost comedic in some aspects when the ghosts were talking, and then the look of the sheet with the eyes, and I couldn't get down with that movie at all. I did like the song in there, but yeah, that to me was an utter waste of time. But I know a lot of people love that movie. Just wasn't for me. Again, everybody's opinions are different, but let me scroll. I think I've missed a ton of comments on here. What are you talking about? I don't have. I'm actually recommend you check out the Vault with James Franco. The Vault. I'm not familiar with that one actually, but I know he did the Disaster Artist. That was like his big one of the year, and I'll have to check that one out. The Vault. I haven't heard anybody really talk about that one. Have you seen the new Leatherface movie? I did. I have it over here in this pile. This pile of movies I've gotten recently right there. And I actually enjoyed the new Leatherface movie. I know a lot of people hated it. I've heard only negative reviews for it. I like the directors. I believe they're the directors that did Livid and Inside. And Inside was my favorite of the French Extreme movies and one of my all-time favorite movies now. And it changes the idea and timeline and character of Leatherface, but it's kind of an origin story. But this, it's kind of fitting in a way because the whole timeline and for Texas Chainsaw Massacre is all screwed up, especially from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. And I definitely think this is way better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. If you look at it like a standalone movie, it's kind of hard to do, but if you separate it, I think it's pretty awesome. I love the heck out of it personally. It could have been better, absolutely, but I still think it was enjoyable. Hold on, I'm just scrolling through. In Denmark, we have a thing called Movember. We have that here too. We grow the facial hair out. Yes, we have that in the U.S. too. What about Gerald's Game? I haven't seen that one yet, but I do plan to check that one out. But I have seen the other one. I can't remember. It was the other Stephen King adapted movie that was on Netflix. I did like The Babysitter, which was a Netflix one too. Dark Song. I saw the Dark Song and I enjoyed that one. That's one I wanted to buy actually because, I loved A Dark Song. So much atmosphere and suspense and creepiness. But then the ending was kind of ridiculous. I was like, am I watching a Thor movie now? Like, what the heck just happened here? Is this like Marvel? Like, yeah, Rings I was not a fan of. I actually got rid of that one. I couldn't keep it in my collection. Even with Vincent D'Onofrio, he couldn't save that one. What did you think of the movie Good Time? I just mentioned I haven't seen Good Time yet. Good Time is one of the few ones of the year. And was it Brigsby Bear? Those are another like two of the popular ones that I haven't seen of the year. But I've seen the majority of the other big movies of the year and popular, hyped, talked about ones. Part of the 1% that liked Leatherface. Awesome, so I'm not alone. Me too. Yeah, well, it wasn't... The scene that you're talking about, it wasn't really that, per se. But there's actually a... if you have the Blu-ray, there's a alternate ending, which I'm so glad they didn't use that ending. It was just too ridiculous to me. Thoughts on people living with loneliness and depression and what they should do about it. If you're depressed or lonely or having any kind of thoughts like that, call somebody, a hotline, a doctor, something. Obviously, if you're dealing with that, I wish you the best. There's a lot of people out there. I mean, go onto YouTube. I'm sure there's communities for it as well. Facebook communities. Lots of people out there now with, the internet where you can get, help and talk to people, like-minded people. And also, a lot more outreach for medical professionals and stuff like that too. So, yes, don't be afraid to ask for help or anything like that. I'm not a medical professional, but obviously, if you're having any thoughts like that, talk to somebody. If you're going through that, if you know somebody's going through that, I wish you the best. Nailed it too with the Dark Song. Such an anticlimactic CGI written ending. Truly atrocious. Killed it big time for me. Yeah. I mean, I still like the movie overall, but it was like, what just happened? What did I just watch? It was like such a creepy, atmospheric movie with a cool plot. And then that happens. It was just a complete, mind screw, left turn. Again, it felt like I was watching a Thor movie. Yeah, no, the Justice League. You know what? I kind of want to see... I feel like Marvel MCU is so much better than DCU. I've always liked the Marvel comics better too, but I want to see like some Image stuff going on. Image comic movies. There you go. That's... Yeah, get out, meet new people. That's always good. Socializing, exercise, activity. Try to find the things that you used to enjoy and do that some more if you can. Catch up with old friends. Yeah, that's a true thing, DJ Donnelly. What is it? Seasonal depression? I knew somebody who had that. I can't remember who it was now. But I remember somebody that I was friends with told me that they were, dealing with that. And, I did my best to be there for them, talk to them, and said, if you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you. Surround yourself with good people, positive people. So has anybody here seen American Made? Let me know, because I'm about to pop that in after I'm done with the live stream. And does anybody here like Krabbies? Ginger beer. Anybody like ginger beer? And yeah, I guess I'm going to go ahead and pan through and show you the whole collection. No, I was just going to say that. I haven't sorted my collection yet. I'm planning to do it this weekend. Yeah, I know. It's so funny. I have very odd taste with food and stuff like that. Like, I love ginger beer. I love these things called violet chips. I love the heck out of them. I love black licorice, but apparently black licorice isn't good for your heart. So I had to stop eating that. I have a heart condition for those of you who aren't aware, so I didn't want to take any extra risks. But yeah, here's the whole horror DVD collection right now. I cut this in half a while back. So yeah, it used to be like 2 bookcases worth. I still have a big box of DVDs that I still have to go through, but I'm going to try to cut down some. I've cut down a ton. You probably can't tell, but here's another bookcase of DVDs right here. And here is a bookcase of Blu-rays. Nothing is organized as of yet. And another case of Blu-rays. And here's a whole bunch of, like, this is where I put the stuff that just came in that I have to watch or go through. And, you know, I still have to do a bunch of updates and reviews and stuff like that. But here's more Blu-rays and some 4Ks. I have a ton of 4Ks in this stack and in the other room as well. I ordered this off of Amazon. It was fulfilled through Amazon, but it was from, like, a merchant seller. But it wasn't directly through the merchant seller. It was, like, again, a fulfillment from Amazon. And I love 40 Days and Nights. Shannon Sossamon's, like, for the longest time, was my #1 celebrity crush. And on the American version, it has Josh Hartnett and Shannon Sossamon on the front cover. This is the Canadian version that they sent me, which has French writing on the front, 40 Nuits, which I guess is Nights, and then French writing on the back, and it's just Josh Hartnett right there. And I do not like that cover at all. That is just I am just not a fan of that look of the cover at all. So I wrote to them about it, and they basically said, keep it, and we're going to refund you. So that was cool of Amazon. So now I'm kind of weary. That's never happened to me before where I've gotten it's a completely different cover. And yeah, I want the English text only on there for me. I don't know. Like, if it's, you know, I want it as pictured. I want that cover with Shannon Sossamon on there. I love Shannon Sossamon. She's amazing to me. So I was bummed about that. But they handled it well, I thought, in my opinion. So that was cool. But now I just got to make sure to directly get it from Amazon instead of a fulfillment. Oh, yeah, let me show you the rest of the collection on here. And there's Wrigley. He's still going. Every time I do this, he always wants to come over and say hi. Such a good boy. Yes. That's a good boy. Yes. And here's the rest of the collection. There's the bust sets up there. And then I do have the Caesar bust set right over there. And I actually have a VHS bust set of Star Trek The Next Generation of Data. It's like a silver mold of his face with a couple VHSs in there from the UK. So I need to put that out somewhere. But here's Criterion's right there. There, some Eureka, Masters of Cinema, Twilight Time, Disney, and then Obstructed from View are Blu-ray TV shows, seasons, sets like that, and just random stuff all over the place. This is some stuff that I'm going to sell over here. And then here's just more random stuff that I want to do updates with. But Steelbooks, all there to Digibooks, Arrow Video, I have a bunch more Arrow Video. Here is the Day of the Dead Arrow Blu-ray Steelbook signed by George A. Romero. I was able to get this from Spider Geek. One of the many times he sold his collection. I'm thankful that he you know, that I was able to get that, though. I'm not going to sell my collection, so there you go. The only time I ever sell stuff in my collection, I think people have a misunderstanding. It's because I don't want to have it in my collection. I don't want to rewatch it, but I keep the stuff that I can see myself rewatching. If I can't see myself ever watching it again, then there's no reason to keep it. I'm not one of those people that keep every single thing. You know, if you blind buy, sometimes you're not going to like the movie. But yeah, here's all horror Blu-rays. Not alphabetized, but separated. And then here's, you know, different stuff everywhere. And then here's a whole stack of Criterions that I want to do an update for, which I haven't done. Some box sets and stuff over here. Some Funkos. And there's my Evil Dead 2 Anchor Bay 10, which is signed up by Bruce Campbell. And I can't believe the Strain ended. Very disappointed that I thought that show could have gone on for a lot longer. But here is the Tiffany Funko Pop that Andrew got me for my birthday, which is cool. It goes right next to Chucky. And then I was able to get Butch Patrick to sign my Eddie Munster Funko. I met him. I like having them out as well displayed. And then Len Wein, the co-creator of Wolverine, and I believe Swamp Thing as well. He passed away recently, but I got him to sign that forever ago on my Wolverine one. I prefer getting the signatures on there too. And then Robert Englund, Freddy, signed up on the Freddy Funko. Right there. Freddy Krueger. So I think that's awesome. I like the look of them signed up, and I like them, out of the boxes. And then here's some old Garbage Pail Kid toys that I got from when I was a little kid. I got those ones out. They came from these little candies. They're like cheap toys or cheap candy or something like that. But the little figures, some of those figures are actually rare. So Jason Voorhees, retracted message. I wonder what it said. The same with you two. If there's something I don't have any interest anymore, watch I get rid of. Yeah, absolutely. It's a constant ebb and flow for me. Like, I'll get rid of stuff and then new stuff comes in. So make sure you see my question 2. I haven't seen it yet. Make sure you read my comments above. Okay. I've missed a lot of comments. Give me a minute. Do you own all the Walking Dead seasons? I do not own all of them. I have some of them. To me, the last couple seasons have gone a little bit downhill, and I hated the mid-season finale. Have I ever received a Blumpkin? No. I like my alone time when I'm going to the bathroom. I know what it is, and yeah, I don't want to. I would feel terrible for the girl who had to do that. Yeah, somebody actually asked me that already, Monkecker, about the new Nolan 4Ks. I got picked up Interstellar and Dunkirk. I do want to pick up the rest, especially Prestige is the one that probably my favorite. Shannon is the best, but she hasn't called me back yet. What do you edit with now due to your YouTube editing software gone? Yeah, that was such a bummer that YouTube took the editing software, but I heard that they might bring it back, but it's going to be slightly different. I don't know what that really entails and how long it's going to take to do. I have no idea why they would take that away to begin with. I feel like a lot of times they take away some of the best stuff. Like there used to be video responses, which I thought was a really cool interactive thing. And they're like, nope, we're just going to take it away now. But right now I'm using a free software. I think it's called Shotcut. I've only used it a couple times. I haven't done anything where I've utilized it a lot. It's not as user-friendly to me. I used to use Corel back in the day, but I had such an outdated one, and the new updated one, it had some errors, so it wasn't really working for me. 40 Days and 40 Nights is the same as in Denmark. Interesting. I think there's supposed to be a new Spawn movie. I did hear about that. I would love to see that. I hope it's R-rated. I've never had a beer even though I'm 21. Well, I mean, you don't have to. It's up to you if you want to try it. By all means, moderation is key. I feel AK Film says he feels lonely with your grandmother who passed away in the last few weeks. My condolences. I'm very sorry to hear that. There you go. You could be around your family, sing, celebrate her life. Yeah, I feel like I'm one of the only people that I've never received a Blumpkin, but I've done lots of crazy things. I am not a Blu-ray hoarder. In fact, I was just getting done talking about how I get rid of movies that I can't see myself watching again. Even though I have a ton of movies, like I just showed you, all in here, and then in here, I've sold probably around 4,000 Blu-rays and 7,000 DVDs in the past 2.5 years or so. So I've gotten rid of a ton of movies, but I still have a ton. I was talking to my friend Corey on here, Corey Reviews, and he was talking about how he's going to get rid of a lot of his collection too. But yeah, I think it's just like one of those things. I'm not one of those people who tries to measure my coolness by how many movies I have. I think that's kind of silly. And there's a lot of people who just keep every single thing. If you don't see yourself rewatching it, why keep it? After a while, there's limited, room and space. No. I've heard of Chatterbait, but I don't know what it is. I think it's just porn streaming stuff. Nah, I'm good on that. I prefer the Hills Have Eyes remake, actually. I love the original. I think the cast is better in the original and more memorable, but everything else, the gore effects, the tension, the suspense is better in the remake. But both of them are really good. You need to do a live stream with the man, the myth. Yeah, man, I'm down to do a live stream with Alex Leba. He was on here before, and there's a guy down the low. Oh, that's rough if he looks like Freddy Krueger. Poor guy. I have all the Walking Dead seasons. Yeah, I do love. I think I really loved the show up until they left the prison. That's for me when it went kind of downhill. They used a lot of episodes to me that seemed like filler episodes. I feel like this whole half season felt like a filler. A lot of suspense, a lot of build up, but I don't know. And then the mid-season finale just I didn't like the way that was going, the way that played out, and wow, I'm very sorry to hear that. AK Films. I wish you the best. Oh, he looks like Robert Englund, not like Freddy. You were saying that he looks like Freddy Krueger. I was thinking like a burn victim or something like that. But you mean the actor Robert Englund who played Freddy. Well, that's kind of cool then. He could use that to his advantage in a way, you know. People, want to take a picture or look-alike. He could do like a look-alike thing. People get paid to do that kind of stuff, which is crazy to me. But you know what? I have another Krabby's over here that I had opened up before. I'm a little bit parched. Wasn't much in that one, but I love that ginger bite. Do you ever want to work out till you are buff? Hell no. I am not a fan of looking like that personally. I again, everybody's different. I have no desire to look like that ever. No, not for me. Yeah, I don't think Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, those kind of body types, physiques, I think it's gross looking. Veins popping out. I remember I saw a movie with a Stallone, Bullet to the Head, which wasn't a bad movie. I think it was a Walter Hill film, a newer one, but I hated the other actor, the other lead. He was an Asian actor. Terrible. Brought the film down a ton. But there was a beginning of that movie where Sylvester Stallone was in it, and his veins and his arm made me want to vomit. It was so unnatural and disgusting and just ugh. So no, I'm not a fan of that at all. Yeah, again, I know a lot of those guys like Sylvester Stallone. He got in trouble for taking human growth hormone. So again, this is stuff eventually it's going to affect you in different ways. Downstairs, it's one of those ways. Better be cool than cruel. Absolutely. What's your favorite Christmas movie? I did a top 5 or 10 of my Christmas movies video like forever ago. I should update that, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it now. But my all-time favorite Christmas movie is It's a Wonderful Life. A very inspirational movie, very emotional, just a fantastic, one of my all-time favorite movies. I think it's the quintessential Christmas movie. Yeah, I talked about Baby Driver earlier. Very stylistic movie, but I thought the dialogue was absurd, ridiculous, and I thought the ending kind of fell off a bit. Still a good movie, but I couldn't put it on my top 10 list for those reasons. I think it's a fun action movie, like very stylized, and I could definitely watch that movie again because it's entertaining, but I couldn't see myself putting on a top 10 list of the year. Even though this year I just haven't seen enough movies to really make a top 10 list. Let me rephrase that. I've seen a ton of movies, but not enough movies that are worthy enough to be put on a top 10 list, in my opinion. A lot of the ones that people rave about and that are some of the more popular movies of the year, I just didn't think were that great. I've been drinking some fancy craft alcohol, Bud Light Limerita. Well, to each their own. As long as you're enjoying it. I've seen the Hulk Hogan 6. Well, he could have had some enhancement. He could have had some stuff done. The Hulk Hogan tape, yeah. I would have no desire to see that. I don't know, man. To each of their own, though. Yes, again, I like, I tried was it Magnus cider? One of them, Smith and something cider? I can't remember the name of it now. But it was like a popular cider. I never tried that one before. And I just thought it was like very similar to all other ciders out there. The only cider company that I've really loved so far is Cider Boys. Like the majority of the ones that I've tried, Woodchuck and Angry Orchard and Stella Artois, Siege Ray, they all taste like apple juice to me. They just taste cloyingly sweet. They just don't do it for me. So I need to find some better hard ciders for sure. Would you be curious to see a remake of People Under the Stairs? I mean, I could probably see that happening, but I love the original People Under the Stairs, so I think it's fine how it is. I don't think it needs to be remade, personally. Too early for beer here, but the last one I drank was Red Stripe. Yeah, I remember drinking Red Stripe back in the day. I remember, I think the last Red Stripe beer I had was probably in college. Yes, I did see Better Watch Out. I thought it was I thought it was okay. One of my friends on here, David Graham. I know there's three like names in your username, and I know he was recommending it to me for a while. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. To me, it was like Home Alone meets American Psycho. That was my kind of analogy of it. I liked the idea of it. I thought it was just average to me. It's one of those movies that I feel like is so hyped up. I've heard everybody posting about it in the past like at least a month or so. I thought it was all right. I was expecting more from it. Corey Feldman's rap album, nah, not for me. But you know what? He's been right for years. He's doing a lot more of the talk shows and stuff about that. It's such a shame that what these kids went through, especially him too. Scrolling through. Vodka and Jägermeister. Yeah, I can't do Jägermeister. Jägermeister is another thing that was popular when I was in college. I just can't do it now. I feel like today's Jägermeister is now a Fireball. It's like the popular, trendy one. But vodka is always good. It's clean. It's clear. I like the Crystal Head vodka. I did a review on my channel like forever ago. That's probably one of my favorite vodkas. Lights Out. Yeah, I saw Lights Out. I thought the short film that it was based on, I have it over here somewhere. I know it's over in this vicinity. I'm almost certain. Is it up here? Or is it in another place? Maybe I'm mistaken. I thought it was over here. Yep, there it is right there. Lights Out. Right there in the corner. But yeah, I thought that was a good film, but it plays on the basic kind of, fear of the dark kind of stuff. The short film it was based on was way better in my opinion. Did you watch Robot? No, I haven't seen Mr. Robot Season 3. I've only seen the first season, which I freaking loved. I heard the second season wasn't quite as good. I haven't heard of either one of those ciders, so I'll have to check those out for sure. Max and Jackson, what's up? Santa's Sleigh. Yeah, I have that one as well. That is super cheesy, fun. Bill Goldberg. I have to say that one is just pure cheese entertainment. That's ripe for a Blu-ray release for somebody like Scream Factory or one of those companies to put out and make a lot of money on. Best Buy was a pre-order. Yes. Star Wars in 4K, absolutely. Annabelle Creation, if you like jump scares and loud jarring noises, go for it. I think it was better than the original, the first Annabelle movie, but it wasn't anything mind-blowing or anything like that. I can't remember what the short film of Lights Out was called, but I'm sure if you Google short film Lights Out, you can find it. But it was a very simplistic film that I thought was super creepy, and I thought it was like one of those ones that everybody shared on Facebook and stuff too. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm getting a little bit parched in the throat. Expect a bunch of videos coming up soon. I want to do a whole video of organizing the whole collection, so that's going to take a long time to edit and film and all that kind of stuff. Especially with my camera situation. My camera only films at like 18 minutes at a time, so, and then the battery life is terrible on it. So right now I'm using my phone, but it's harder to do, like this is just a live stream video, so there's no editing, but to do a video like that, it's harder to do that with my phone. So it's going to be a pain in the butt to do, but I'll be happy to have everything organized finally, and I think it'll be fun to do a video. Like, I'm not going to go through every single like movie, but I'm going to go through a couple when I'm organizing and say, talk about one here and there. Kind of, that's the deal what I'm going to do. I am a fan of Rare Exports. I don't really consider Rare Exports a horror movie, though. But there is way too much, like, old man balls in that movie. That was the one thing that always stuck in my mind. It's like, I could have done without all that. But it's a good movie. I just don't personally consider it a horror movie. Wow, it's 5:48 there. Thank you for hanging out and chilling with me. So many people all across everywhere. So yes, thank you so much. Hope you guys are doing well. Take care. Have a good night. And when this video gets off, remind me, or actually give me some recommendations for movies from 2017 that you think are underrated once this movie gets posted to YouTube. So take care, and thanks again for hanging out.